Hello, welcome. This is my 3 years on YouTube video. And this year spend, I'm going to spend the video. I wanted to say today, but then if you're watching this a day later, then it's not today anymore. But I'm going to spend this video talking about something that I think all of us need to be on the same page, where we need to all be on the same page. And I actually didn't write a script for this, in case you're wondering. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started then. So, I wanted to talk about why I don't want to turn this why I don't want to turn this YouTube channel or making content into a business. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about today because I think that's something where we need to all be on the same page. And I guess we could start with the obvious of, well, it's obvious to me, it's not obvious to you, but I do not have the skills to run a business. I actually have zero idea how to run a business, but besides not knowing how to run a business, I do have other reasons why I don't want to turn this into a business. The number one thing being that if I turned YouTube into my full time job, and I guess I need to make this example a little better. So let's say I'm living by myself and I am receiving zero financial assistance from anybody. That would mean that the only income I would be making is through my job. So if my full time job in that scenario was YouTube, then I would be making content based on what makes me money rather than making content based on what I want to make. And I think that that would absolutely ruin it for me, I would think, because, well, then I wouldn't be doing what I want to anymore. And I think that would turn this hobby. Actually, I don't really know if calling it a hobby is. I guess technically it's a hobby now because I don't spend a whole lot of time doing it while school is going on. But then when school's not going on, then I'm spending a lot of time doing it. But this activity would not be a source of enjoyment anymore. It would be just work, right? And I think that would be miserable because this is something that I started for the sake of doing it for fun. And I feel like this is just more enjoyable, in my opinion, when you're doing it for fun rather than doing it as a business. Because when you turn your channel into a business, it's basically a TV studio on YouTube, which I'm sure you've probably heard plenty of people talk about before, in regards to YouTube being like the next TV, because YouTube and movie production have a lot in common, kind of sorta. What they have in common is that they're dealing with like videos, right? Because technically a movie is a video, it's a video file, but you get what I'm saying. There's similar mediums. So yeah, if you turn your channel into a business, it does basically become a TV studio on YouTube, and I think that would just be miserable for me personally. Now, I've already stated my primary reason as to why, my reason number one as to why I think this would be awful to do as a business. Reason number two, it's technically two reasons combined in one. They fall under the same category. I would probably have to take sponsorships, which for those of you that don't know what a sponsorship is, It's basically where I would do an advertisement for a product and I would put that in one of my videos. And then the company would pay me for that advertisement. And I know some people, they don't like it when a YouTuber does sponsorships because then it's like, they're wasting my time with this sponsorship. And there's also people that will say, oh, they took sponsorship from X company's bad, you know. And I'd also probably have to start something like a Patreon, something along the lines of, some way for the viewer to donate money to me. And I know people don't like that because, well, one, people view it as an advertisement, and then two, people also view it as the content creator begging the viewer for money. And then people also say that's like this pretty close to the same as when a homeless person begs for money. So, yeah, granted, uh, I don't know if anybody has lost their career over a sponsorship they took, because I don't know of an example of that, but I'm sure there probably is at least one example of that. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. There's like a certain like moral thing I think that you lose once you're not able to like self fund anymore. And that's really just a personal thing, whether or not the moral code matters to you or not, right? Because there's plenty of people that don't care, if you take a sponsorship or not, or who you take it from, and yeah, that's cool. And there's plenty of people that will just skip past it, doesn't matter. So yeah, you would lose moral ground though on both of those. So yeah, I think I don't know. I think it would just be a little bit better, morally if I could just, self fund it, which my only cost of operation is an Adobe subscription. So, yeah, I mean, I can pay for that myself. I'm capable of paying that. But, yeah, there's just some people that do care about that, about the sponsorships you take and the Patreon advertisements and things like this. And then it's like, dang, this person kind of is just like an advertisement platform now. It's an advertisement at the beginning of like every video. Oh, ha ha ha, they took an advertisement. Ha ha, it kind of goes on and on every time they take a sponsorship. But yeah, I think cuz here's the thing with the sponsorships, right? Obviously, I don't know how like YouTubers obtain a sponsorship beyond like I guess sending an email asking for one, or I don't know, maybe these companies, they have like certain guidelines that they lay out, and then it's like if you meet these guidelines, send us an email and we'll review your channel and get back to you or not get back to you, right? Because there's not like a guarantee that you're gonna get a sponsorship. And I think you've probably heard like every YouTuber talk about this. I think maybe. It's not guaranteed that you get sponsorships. You're not guaranteed, any pay, right? Because YouTube is not. They're not paying you based on hours or effort. They're paying you based on performance, to my understanding. I mean, obviously, I you know, I don't know how they track hours. That system wouldn't even work. But to my understanding, they're paying you based off of video performance. I don't know what video statistics since I'm not monetized and I don't have access to that. And no YouTuber ever shows their YouTube studio, like their analytics. So, especially the pay, they don't show that, which isn't very surprising. But yeah, because I think it would be a lot more stressful to try and make money off of YouTube when there's not really a guarantee of you getting paid, which I mean that can be that argument, that fear can be applied to literally any, startup of your own business, right? But me personally, the potential money gain does not outweigh the risk. And I also just explained that I think it would be horrible to do this as a business rather than doing it as something for fun, right? Because if I am doing this for fun, I am doing this just as an activity that I do, then I am simply making content based on what I want to make, and I can really do just whatever I want. I am free as a bird rather than, being like, okay, what's, hot this week? What's going on today? Let's make a video on that. Even if it's, something that doesn't interest me or something that is completely and entirely outside my realm of interest or even my realm of understanding. And it's just, if, okay, so, I forgot. I already kind of mentioned about the money, but I also want to mention something else as well about, the business thing. So, let's say, because I know like some YouTubers, right, when they turn their channel into a business, then control over the content, what content's being put out, and the production process of the content. Because if they start hiring people to do that for them, they are losing some control, kind of, sort of, depending on how they do it, right? So let's say that I am living by myself. I'm not getting any financial assistance. The only way I'm getting income is through a job. My full-time job's YouTube. It's the only job I have. Okay. So let's say that I don't hire anybody. Okay. I make an LLC, actually, probably not an LLC. Let's say I do it as a sole proprietorship. And I just run it, right? I'm the only one involved. However, that doesn't mean that I am in charge. That means that my profit numbers are the one in charge. Because even though I am the only person that would be running the channel, because of the fact that I am now financially reliant on it, I would still be making content based on what's making me money rather than making content based on what I want to make. So even if it was a sole proprietorship, I got to make all the decisions. If I am financially reliant on YouTube or just content creation in general, then I am making content based on what makes me money rather than based on what I want. And this is also why you hear YouTubers say, I've become so successful, now I can do what I want, right? Because there are plenty of YouTubers where they will make content based on what makes them money for, years, decades, whatever. Actually, YouTube's only been around since 2009. We're actually approaching 20 years, kind of, sort of. We're at like 17 right now. That's a guess on my part. I'm not very good at math. But we're in 2024. YouTube came out in 2009. We're like 17, 16 years. YouTube's been out. So, yeah. But point is, there's these YouTubers that'll make content based on what's making them money for years, and they'll hate it. They won't be interested in it. They won't enjoy it. It's really just a source of work rather than a source of enjoyment. But then once they like reach you know, to a certain level, I'm going to call it, you know, having like millions and several millions of dollars that they don't have to, worry about money again for the rest of their life, then they can make content based on what they want to make and still make a little bit of money or still make a ton of money. I don't know. I still make a ton of money, but yeah, that's why you hear the phrase, I've become so successful, now I can do what I want. Because they've been financially reliant on YouTube, for a long time. They've been making content based on what makes them money for a long time. And it's like now, once they're like financially free, now they can do, like 10 years, 15 years later, now they can do what they want rather than doing whatever they want at the beginning to the end. So yeah, I just think overall this is a lot more fun. I think it's a lot better to do as something for fun rather than something as a job. And I guess another point as well, is being stressed out by the analytics. I think you've probably heard every YouTuber ever say that they've been stressed out by the analytics, especially the ones that are financially reliant on YouTube, content creation, whatever. And the reason why the analytics stress them out is pretty obvious. It's because the analytics, determine, the analytics tells them how their video is doing, and it tells them how much money they're making and things like this, right? So if the numbers start going down, money's going down, views going down, impressions going down, likes going down, comments going down, everything is, falling beneath the earth. And then it starts like stressing them out. They start losing their mind. They don't know if they're going to be able to, make enough money to pay rent or pay the mortgage or, make enough money to buy groceries that week, whatever. And the analytics just stress people out. It's understandable. I'd prefer to not have to be stressed out by the analytics. That's just me. And me personally, I don't look at the analytics. The only analytics I look at are the ones that I can't avoid looking at, which are subscribers, views, likes, dislikes, and number of comments, which I also think those are numbers I should probably be aware of. I don't think the views matter that much, or the number of comments, but I think those are numbers that I should look at because those are kind of really the only ones I need, to see what's going on. Basically just to see what's going on, see if somebody left a comment, see whether people liked the video or hated the video. And then I guess views is just like, how many people watched it, right? So, yeah, the rest of it I don't look at because, well, I'm not financially reliant on this, and I'd prefer not to look at them. And they really shouldn't, like, the analytics really shouldn't affect me or how I feel, my mood, my emotions at all, since I'm not financially reliant on YouTube. But I just prefer not looking at them because then I just won't think about it, and I just prefer that. I think that's just a lot better, which is actually kind of sad that the analytics do sometimes slightly affect the way I feel if I look at them, besides the four that I just mentioned. But yeah, I prefer not looking at them. That's just me. And that also goes for like live streams. I hide the number of viewers that are watching. I hide that. It's less stressful for me that way. I don't know why it's less stressful. Beyond that, it just is. I know why. kind of sort of like when you're standing on a stage in real life. In real life, you're standing on a stage and there's like tons of people in the audience, and you're supposed to give this speech or do this thing, give this performance, you know, whatever. Right? It's kind of like that. That's why the uh number of viewers that are watching during a live stream kind of stresses me out. But I just turn that off and then I don't think about it. I don't worry about it, and I'm chill. So yeah, and I think overall it's just better. I think doing this, doing YouTube, doing content is better. Shoot, I didn't mean to shake the microphone. My bad. Um, I think it's better if you're not having to worry about the analytics, because if you're not financially relying on it, then the analytics don't really matter. Besides the four that I mentioned, which of course there's also plenty of people that don't care about the number of subs or views or comments or any of that. The only reason why I think those matter is just for the sake of being aware of what's going on. You know, that's all. What's just going on, like, on your channel, and the rest of it, like, I don't really need to know the number of watch hours. I don't need to know if somebody only watched 3 seconds of the video before clicking off. Like, I don't need to know that. That doesn't change anything. And this is actually another important point that I just remembered. I know the analytics for, particularly for the people that are financially reliant on YouTube, the analytics will affect how they make their videos. The analytics do not affect how I make my videos. I do whatever I want, and then boom, then that's just what it is. Cool, great. Like seeing that somebody only watched 3 seconds of my video isn't going to, like, tell me that I need to do something different. I'm just gonna do whatever I want, do whatever I feel like doing, and do it whenever I want, right? And that's another thing too. Upload schedule. Grant, I actually would like to do this a little bit more often because I haven't done anything since December, but that is because I am busy. But I think it's a little bit. I think it's more chill if you don't really have like an upload schedule or a stream schedule, because then you're not really under time pressure. It could just take however long it takes, and then that's that. If it takes you, one day to make a video, then it takes one day. If it takes 2 days, it takes 2 days. If it takes, a week, it takes a week. If it takes a month, it takes a month. If it takes 3 months, it takes 3 months. It's just, it doesn't, if you're not financially reliant on YouTube content creation, it doesn't really matter how often you upload or how often you stream. You could stream once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, once every 5 months, once a year. The consistency doesn't, like, in the grand scheme of things, if you're not financially reliant on content, the consistency doesn't really matter. You could just do it however you want. See, because that's the thing. If you're not financially reliant on the content, on making content, you can do whatever you want. You're as free as a bird. You can do whatever you want. And that's great. It's amazing. I love that. Now, of course, I have been very focused on gaming. I think gaming has quite literally, I think, been the only thing that I've uploaded. There's been some, like, other stuff where I'll talk about something, but it'll be like, I'm talking about, this game. Even if it's not like a gameplay video or review video, if it's something informative, like the DRM video I made. I was trying to think of something because it's been like, months since I've done that. format. I call it, format. See, that's another thing too. I'll get to that in a minute, the formats. Uh, yeah, the last time I did like an informative video was the DRM video. That was like, I think like a year ago at this point. Granted, that was, me talking, explaining, telling you this, that, blah, 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 blah. It was still about gaming. And the reason why it's been about gaming is because I'm just very interested in it. I like it. it I mean, I just like it, And, ask me why I like it. It's because I find it enjoyable. I think it's fun. It's what I like to talk about. Grant, I've also talked about anime when I was doing anime reviews and movie reviews, but then I stopped doing those because there's too many movies and animes out there that making review videos of those would never end. Formats. So when you are financially reliant on YouTube, financially reliant on content, typically, you're just going to obviously do what makes you money. Another thing as well, which I guess is kind of sort of the same point, formats, right? Now, when a YouTuber's talking about a format, format's kind of like, it's a synonym for a template, is what I'm going to call it. And yeah, I would think format's a synonym for a template. So basically, there's like a specific way when we're talking about format, that means that there's a specific way that the video would be made, that the information will be presented. Let's say that a YouTuber makes a documentary video and it's an informative video, and let's also say that they're a comedian, okay? So what's going to happen is that the way the video is going to get presented is they're going to provide you, facts upon facts upon facts, and then occasionally they'll toss in some comedy bits so that it's not just facts upon facts upon facts. I don't personally do this because my jokes suck and I don't come up with very good jokes, and if I was telling jokes, you all would hate me. I know that for certain. Jokes would be if I turned this into a comedy channel, it would die instantaneously. It would instantaneously disappear. Anyways, that's besides the point. So the format would be, a few facts, couple jokes, few facts, couple jokes, right? But then if they wanted to do a different format, oh wait, I almost forgot. So the first format, let's say that they don't show their face. Let's say there's tons of visual effects, there's tons of audio effects, and it's always just some assets moving around on the screen and some music playing in the background and some audio effects. They don't show their face, and that is the way the video is. Okay, now let's say there's a second format. I'm just going to describe this second format. So let's say the second format is the YouTuber is standing in their room holding a microphone, and let's say they're just standing in front of their wall. They're not standing in front of a green screen, and they present information that way. That's very different than from not showing your face and relying on showing something to the screen to present information or to fill the time if you don't show your face at all in the video or don't show your face to the internet, whatever. Now, when you are financially reliant on YouTube, typically what ends up happening is that they'll only use like one or two formats because, it's what works, it's what makes them money, and they don't want to try another format, or they've tried other formats and they didn't work out. The videos didn't do well. The videos didn't make them a whole lot of money when they tried like some new format that they've, never used before. So now they just have to make videos under, you know, one or two formats, forever. And then that's just that. Well, if you're not financially reliant on YouTube, then you can have as many formats as you want. I have multiple formats. I have this format where I sit here and ramble without a script. I have a format for review videos, which is where it's kind of sort of templated. I mean, really, the only thing that's, pre planned about it is the intro and outro because those are always the same. But the review videos, I'll say the intro. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing X, and maybe side notes. If there's any side notes, there's no side notes, then I'll say let's get started. Or if there is side notes, I'll say that, then say let's get started. And then I'm going to tell you everything that I like and dislike about the game or whatever, the movie and whatever I'm reviewing. And I am not using like I'm using footage, my gameplay footage. If it's a game, I'm using gameplay footage. If I were to do a movie review now, I would use my face. And I use gameplay footage, and the gameplay footage lines up with what I'm talking about, which makes it a pain to edit at times. But that's how I do it. And then at the end, I say, I give this game a score of 5 out of 6. It's a good game. I like it. That's about it. See ya. And then, actually, I think those are the only two formats I have. I guess technically I have a third format for things like the DRM video, the Banjo-Kazooie video, trying to think of other videos that I did that are similar to those two. Those might have been the only two. But the format for that is essentially I don't show my face, or, before I showed my face, I wouldn't show my face, and then I would present the facts on the screen, whatever. I would present whatever sources I was using, present those facts on the screen while I'm talking about it, and da 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 da. And unfortunately, obviously I couldn't use my face to like fill in the time when, if something didn't need to be presented, I still had to put something on the screen so that it wouldn't just be a black screen. Then after I showed my face, then that format slightly changed because it actually got better in my opinion, because now if something doesn't need to be presented, I can just use my face cam, right? Instead of having to be like, well, what am I going to put on the screen now? Because I'm explaining something. Nothing needs to be presented for this, 60-second, 30-second segment, whatever. And then, I could just do that. Put my face up there. If nothing needs to be presented, then when something needs to be presented, I put it up there. And then, I could have, 50 other formats if I wanted to, right? Since I'm not financially reliant on YouTube content creation, I can have as many formats as I want. And I kind of imagine formats visually as like little like test tubes that you see in a lab, full of like green liquid, or I don't know, maybe blue liquid, or I don't know, something. There's some liquid in them, and then like there's like pieces of tapes on the tubes, and then like on the tubes, it will have like the format name on them. I could have, an entire shelf of those if I want to, because I can just do whatever I want. I can do whatever format I want. I can talk about whatever I want. Of course, I don't know, there are things I won't talk about, but with what I want to do, video games generally being the thing here, that's an entire realm of things I can talk about right there. So, yeah. And of course, the things I won't talk about, it's pretty obvious. No politics, no religion. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to do this anymore. I'm not going to keep that a secret. I think that's very obvious. Although I guess there are people that do talk about politics and religion as a career, but I don't find that interesting. I Nah, I don't want to do that. That also I don't think that would be fun, especially with politics. No, I don't think that'd be fun. Not at all. Maybe sometimes to talk about morals in the DRM video. I know I did discuss morals a little bit when it came to piracy, but yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and like tell you something about the Bible. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you about you know a tragedy that happened in the world today. I'm not gonna do that because I would like to keep doing this. Therefore, I'm not going to talk about politics or religion because I want to keep making YouTube videos. So we're not going to discuss that. And those are also just topics I'm genuinely not interested in. But you get the point. If you are not financially reliant on YouTube, you can have as many formats as you want. It's great. You're not stuck to one format. You're not stuck to doing videos in one way. You're not stuck in presenting it in just one way or two ways. You can present it in as many ways as you want. You can make the video in as many ways as you want. The format can be whatever you want. The presentation can be whatever you want, right? That is the great thing. That's another good thing. Another good thing about not being financially reliant on YouTube content creation. I just realized this recording is almost 40 minutes long. We're at 39 minutes. But I think I've gotten all of my main points across. I think I've gotten all my points across that I wanted to get across, and I think I have made it clear why I don't want to do this as a business and just do it as something for fun. Now, obviously, I guess if I never do it as a business, I won't ever be able to spend as much time on it as I could if I was doing it as a business. But I think the time spent doing this for fun will be more valuable than the time spent doing this as a business. For me personally, that's how I view that. That's my opinion on that. So we are going to conclude this year's anniversary video. This is the 3 years on YouTube video. At some point, it's going to be 10. We're going to hit double digits at some point, and I don't know if I'm probably not going to feel old when we hit 10 years. When we hit 10 years on YouTube, because, well, I don't think age wise, I don't think I'm going to be considered old. But yeah, then at some point, maybe it will be 20. I don't know. I don't know if I'll make it to 20. I'd probably make it to 20. I'd probably do maybe 30. Or I don't know. See, because now I have to like do the math to figure out how old I'm going to be when the YouTube channel reaches X age. I could maybe do like 30, 40 years on YouTube, which is actually a really long time. That's also a really large span of my life, but we'll see. I'll keep doing this until I can't do it anymore. So, yeah. Also, I guess as a bonus, I'm still doing the Zelda project. I really nothing's changed from the situation that I described in my update video, but it might just be better to wait to pick it back up maybe during spring break. I'll do maybe a little bit of it then, but I think full-fledged it would be better. Full-fledged will probably maybe come back after school is over. After school's over, that's when full-fledged can come back, kind of, sorta. At least I think I'll be able to spend more time on this after school's over. Anyway, so that's my little bonus thing. I think that's about it. So we're gonna end it here. It's about it then. See ya.